Ну, вот сейчас они почти что начали рано Одиссеи, поэтому я прощаюсь с вами.
Да, спасибо за компанию. Похлопайте Агману. Хлоп-хлоп. На связи. Спасибо, что был и есть.
Похлопайте Делеку, потому что он тут. Вот. Да, пожелаю удачи и передаю тебе все флаги правления.
Hey, I'm Fur. I also speedrun
Марио
Mario
Одиссея.
Odyssey.
And I'm Timpani. I also speedrun Mario Odyssey.
That's it. That's
Yep.
the tweet. Send tweet. That's
Yep.
it.
That is it.
End tweet.
This is all I've done.
In our entire streaming careers, Super Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
And that is all. So without further ado, we're going to get into Talk 2%. The first thing you're going to notice is we're playing in English. Very important reason for that. And we'll explain it as we get into Cap Kingdom. But essentially, any percent is what we're going to be playing today. But it's got a little bit of a twist on it. Instead of just having our route already pre-planned, we know what our fastest moons are, get in, get out of the kingdoms as fast as you possibly can. This runs a little bit different. We have a little bird. He's our friend in all of these
Сейчас мы
kingdoms,
скоро
and he's gonna be
синхронизируемся,
basically
нам
bossing us around,
заранее
telling us
уже
where to go
Dangerous начинает
this
объяснять,
entire
что
speed
Супер
run.
Марио Одиссея
I can't think of a better way to play
очень
Super Mario Odyssey. So
оптимизированный
with that being
спидран,
said, let's go ahead and
естественно,
get the
супер
start
скилловый,
timer going. I'm
но
gonna hit the
мы
start button
разбавим
in
наш скилл
3,
и оптимизацией
1,
процентов толкоту. Что такое процент толкоту?
So maybe
Есть
somebody
такой попугай
on the couch
в
can tell me
игре,
a little bit more about what
и он
Talk 2
есть
is and what the bird
почти на
does.
каждой карте.
Sure.
И
I mean, sorry,
смысл
you can go
этой
ahead.
категории в том, что нужно будет разговаривать с попугаем, и он будет подсказывать нам, какие звезды нам нужно собирать. Shine get.
I mean, what more do you need to know?
No, but
И
in actuality, so
это своего рода
Talk 2 is
встроенный
like
рандомайзер
one of
от
the in-game hidden
Nintendo.
mechanics. And what I mean by that is every moon in this game has a
И это
name.
все, что вам
And
нужно
if you
знать.
talk to Talkatoo, it will give you the name of the moon. And when you collect that moon, it can give
Луна не
you
звезда, что ли?
another
О, нет,
name in
ваба.
its place. It can give you
Клоун,
up to 3 names at a
получается.
time. And Talkatoo percent basically uses that as a randomizer. So
Вот.
Dangers is only going to be collecting story moons, which Talkatoo cannot tell us the name of, and moons that Talkatoo tells us about. So it's sort of like a randomized Odyssey run where Dangers is going
И,
to have to think
ну да,
on
наверное,
the
сложность категории в том,
fly
что тебе
to
нужно
figure out,
знать, где располагаются звезды, и
what
пытаться
order
как-то
to skip it.
оптимизировать
We haven't even
спидран
got any donations in yet. The
от
donations are where the
того,
funds are just like, you know,
что
just flowing
вам
in, but for already hitting us with a bang
игра
right out
дает.
of the gate.
Сразу же спид-страты.
Yeah,
Вы
I
можете
think
обратить
what
внимание,
Fur said
что
is
он
really
прыгает в
important.
одну сторону, а потом
You know,
разворачивается в
Talk 2
другую
is gonna
для
give
того,
us
чтобы
anything but
пролететь
story
дальше.
moons, so you can kind of consider the
Это
story
такая
moons
вот
to be
спид-страта.
like the free square on a bingo card, you know.
Астрон.
We get to collect those just because Talkatoo will never give them to us, and they're kind of
Клоун в
important
10-м.
for the story.
Как и
They're
я.
kind of important for us to sometimes make
Клоуны
progression
объединяемся.
in this game, so you know, not allowing us to use them would be kind of like, it'd be kind of mean, I guess. And then the rest are moons that we just have to get. Oh, the spin throw didn't come out there, but that's okay. That we have to get from Talkatoo themselves.
В этом королевстве у нас нет
Because it's any percent, we're collecting the minimum amount of moons to leave every
Talkatoo,
kingdom.
попугая,
And that's
но
our only requirement,
здесь и
really, is
нет
that we just kind of
звезд.
do any percent, but we do it
Буллирование в
with
прямом эфире.
Talkatoo's suggestions.
Ваба,
And Talkatoo
это
will only ever
исключительная
suggest moons that we
возможность с
can
тобой
collect
общаться, прикинь.
in the kingdom at that
Мы с
moment
тобой
in
общаемся, ты
time.
в чате,
So,
я в голосе.
he'll never give us moons like if you've
Ты
played
можешь
this
тоже в
game
голосе,
before, there's a lot of
кстати, будем
post-game
общаться в
content. He'll
голосе.
never give us the moons that are hidden behind the moon
Ну тогда
rocks.
ты себя
He'll never
задианонишь.
give us moons that are hidden behind what we call the world peace state, unless we've completed world peace already. So we have to take all those things into consideration.
Так,
to
в
try and
этом
keep the moon
королевстве,
pool small, so
по-моему...
that we have a better time kind of predicting what we're going to get, I suppose.
В общем, в каждом королевстве нужно насобирать определенное количество лун. Вон, видите, сверху слева там отображено, сколько лун нам нужно. Есть луны историй, которые идут по сюжету. Они учитываются в общий счет, сколько нужно собрать. Потому что мы играем, а не процент подразумевает, что мы просто как можно быстрее собираем луны и отправляемся в следующую стадию, в следующий мир. И этот индикатор сверху слева отображает, сколько нам нужно. Сейчас мы отодвинем Чомпа и, соответственно, выполним сложный трюк. Не повторять дома, как говорится.
Skip.
Скип-скип.
Oh yes, skip.
Кажется, но у него не пригорает. Он, кстати, достаточно спокойный спидранер, в том смысле, что он... Даже на его лице хоть и нарисована печаль небольшая. Ну, он столько играет в эту игру, что я думаю, он столько видел. Таким его не разочаровать. Это еще не самое страшное, что может случиться. Самое ужасное это будет, если будет слабый рандом. Или рандом, который будет неприятен. Но, опять же, эта категория чем удобна и весела. Ну, все равно он попытался забраться по-другому, да? Вот отлично справился, забагал динозавра. Сейчас, получается, с этого босса мы получаем 3 звезды. Тоже, кто играл казуально эту игру, это не просто босс-файт, нам нужно бросить шапку в одну сторону, чтобы сначала прыгнуть на чомпа, сбить шапку, а потом шапкой притянуть к себе, и тогда шапка на пути встретится с чомпом. Вот и быстрее мы его захватим. Скорость это время, это победа. Есть мы в 1 час 50 минут. Скорее всего, очень легко будет побит.
We just need one more moon, and we do have to talk to the bird to get it. So,
while that's... It's going to be our first time seeing Talkatu.
It is, yes. We get to meet him. While we're waiting for these cutscenes to zip by and we get to go talk to Talkatu, I'm just going to kind of read off the moon names in my head, so that's probably a perfect time for a first...
Так, у нас будет Talkatu, по-моему, сейчас он говорит. Сейчас посмотрим. Да, есть Talkatu. Нам нужно всего 1 звезду собрать здесь, и он нам объявляет, куда нужно идти. Соответственно, это время, пока ты разговариваешь с Talkatu, он объявляет тебе звезду, и ты такой, окей или не окей. Берешь или не берешь? Правило Talkatu процента это еще как бы не на хардкоре. На хардкоре не учитываются звезды истории. То есть звезды истории это там, где звезды истории, во-первых, не входят в пул Talkatu. Во-вторых, Talkatu знает только, подсказывает только те звезды, которые реально можно достать. То есть он не считает там баги, гличи или еще что-то. То есть, если звезду можно достать только после того, как ты побеждаешь мирового босса, или босса того самого мира, то он их не называет, получается.
Well, I'll show him what for. Don't you be worried about that.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so the first moons that we got in that pool, there's some like really juicy, just kind of like easy moons in Cascade. Talkatu's being mean right out of the gate. We love to see that. So
Dangerous уже пожаловался на рандом, но ничего страшного. Все, что нужно знать об этом спидране, это можно быстро передвигаться и просто наслаждаться геймплеем. На самом деле, после того, как я посмотрел несколько таких рандомных ранов, мне даже захотелось пройти игру, потому что в этой игре в каждом мире огромное количество интересных лун, где они расположены, и я думаю, я пройду потом как-нибудь. Думаю, что мне только карта захвата. Ну или уже тогда сам буду проходить, не знаю. Если не смогу определиться с картой захвата. Луны вам называть я не буду, потому что я их сам не знаю. То есть это надо спидранить игру, чтобы реально знать, где луны находятся, как они расположены. То есть ему сейчас назвали, ну, он выбирает луны, разговаривает, и желательно, чтобы мы, соответственно, выполнили несколько лун рядом. Вот он 3 раза поговорил, сколько запомнил, соответственно, столько и назвал. Он, скорее всего, много запоминает, либо у него где-то еще дополнительно записывается, но ему записывать негде, нигде и никогда. По-моему, в самой игре есть записи, Если открыть меню, то там написано, какую луну тебе подсказал толкоту. Ну да, у каждой луны есть свое название, луна под водопадом, и так, как правильно говорит Ваба. Журнал лун есть, это я тоже знаю. И это я тоже назвал.
Exactly. And we can talk a bit about more of those roadblocks later as well.
Так что сидим, чилим, наслаждаемся спидраном. Основная часть в этой игре, ну, в этой категории, знать, каким образом быстрее добраться до каждой луны и насколько насколько далеко друг от друга луны располагаются.
Because there's a moon in this kingdom that might require them. So just kind of thinking ahead, just in case. Okay. So now Talkatu's finally giving me some moons where I have to kind of...
Собираем чекпоинты, потому что на них можно очень быстро телепортироваться, просто открыв карту и нажать телепорт. Тут нет какой-то дополнительной загрузки, то есть нам показывает, конечно, экран, что там, о, Марио опустил шапку, полетел. Это, в принципе, очень быстро.
To anywhere in this kingdom that I want. So it actually can kind of be good to get some faraway moons early on, just for that reason. So that if Talkatu...
Заранее он начал собирать фиолетовые монетки. Фиолетовые монетки отвечают за магазин. Специальный магазин. Можно костюм покупать. Вот, эту звезду я даже не видел еще ни разу. Потому что ее нет в обычном роуте. Ну, рауте для any процента. Поэтому... Поэтому мне нравится эта категория. Да, косметика, присущая конкретной локе.
There are certain, like, moons in this game, they're kind of handed out like candy, and the requirements for them can vary dramatically from, you know, putting on an outfit and then going to dance with friends, like I said, you know, doing these sub-areas, there's always 2 in here. Any combination of, like, activities can garner you a moon, so you've just got to be kind of on alert and thinking about all the different ways that you could get a Talkatu moon.
Exactly.
Shopping as well is another one. So you're going to see that I'm going out of my way.
Категории, да, не основная.
I was on top of that building at the beginning. I'm not sure if you guys recall, but I ground pounded a spot on the floor and it gave me...
Находится в доп-категориях по Mario Odyssey. Это, наверное, не самая популярная. Есть какая-то более популярная. Dangers. Прошелся по всем популярным. По нескольким, точнее, популярным и тем, которые ему нравятся. Вот, и это была одна из категорий, в которой он, по-моему, даже взял VR в своем последнем вводе, но это было год назад, судя по всему. Сейчас Dangers активно стримит Super Mario Galaxy, что, к сожалению, не в моем вкусе.
But basically, the idea is to leave Cappy in a location, get Mario
Хорошо, отлично.
somewhere, do an activity, and then home in with Cappy.
Как уже объяснил Dangers, просто оставляешь шапку там, где шапка может привязаться к какому-нибудь персонажу. И после того, как Марио выполняет какое-то действие, допустим, мы там, не знаю, соберем луну или еще что-нибудь.
No IP skip today, unfortunately, but that's because we have moons in here. So
that clip Dangerous did there is a lot harder than it looked.
Можем обратно телепортироваться к шапке. Но это реально сложная техника. Визуально такое сложно сделать.
Was it mural? Secret inverted mural, I think, is what I had, right? It wasn't.
Хорошее замечание, наверное, да.
Hidden room, yeah. Good Good thing I checked. That would be this one over here.
You can get more coins.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's quite good actually. You'll get a lot more coins as well, just in case.
Yeah, we'll be ready for treasure bait of coins.
Столько спрятанных сокровищ и столько спрятанных лун. Как бы я бы никогда не догадался. То есть, ну не то чтобы никогда не догадался, но я бы не стал, наверное, идти намеренно в смерть туда налево. И тут такой оп, и там секретка. Это игра с огромным количеством секреток.
Never know, yeah.
Right, this one here is on the statue's tail. Then we're going to do the Harriet fight. Now, again, story moons and multi-moons. Multi-moons are basically just more numerous story moons. So this boss fight here that we're about to do with Harriet, this counts as a story moon times 3. It's also going to revert the kingdom into a nighttime state, which may or may not.
Напоминает нам Danger, что сейчас мы изменим внешний вид локации, и это может немножко расширить нам пул звезд, которые мы бы хотели собрать.
What are they called in this game? I forget.
Chinchos.
Chinchos, that's right. I always think about the Pokemon.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
The music is nice.
the music is very calming, very soothing. That's true.
It's also very pretty.
It is. And another benefit is that there are like electrical wires that you could see me using all across like the
Был
town part of
пацан и
Costa
нет
Rica.
пацана.
Those wires extend all the way to the tower in the middle of the kingdom, so I can actually grab a free story moon there if I wanted as well. Leaves, you know, it gives me a couple more options.
Там был хвост,
We'll
поэтому
go in.
он
We'll
был
go in
мягкий.
Night's End. And because we did the inverted pyramid as well, we've
А Марио в
completely
комбинезоне.
unlocked all 3 of our slots for Talkatu again, so we can grab a whole new moon pool here. And while I'm rolling into town, I think maybe
Вот меняется мир, то есть открывается финальный босс, и мир становится ночным. Я не могу точно сказать, можно ли поменять обратно мир в дневной. Возможно, он меняется навсегда.
Oh, that's a great question. I think the Paper Mario one's already all full, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Oh boy. Then I'll go with commentator's choice because you probably got something more on mind.
I'm going to go with the Turbo Tunnel blindfolded.
Excellent. Excellent choice. Yep. Oh, yeah, I'm all about that. All of my runner's choices can go there.
Do I have time for another?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. $20 from Reset Rabaroni. First-time donator, always love to see an Odyssey run. Good luck, Dangers.
Thank you, thank you.
And
Скорее всего,
from Atomic Tiki.
маленькие ошибки сказываются на том, что просто Danger давно не практиковался в этой игре. Хотя,
All matters how much the bird wants me to go fast, you know?
он вроде пару стримов запускал. Супер Марио, но,
And I have a $5 donation from
видимо, практики маловато.
that says,
Все-таки эта игра не позволит тебе просто не играть в нее долгое время и такой оп, изи. Это игра про маленькие инпуты, где буквально, ну, любая, если у тебя жесткая строта, маленькая ошибка превратит зрелище в несмотрибельное.
And we got to do the other moon that's associated in the sub area. These sub rooms, they're kind of characterized by like pulling you away from the main kingdom world that you're in by like a pipe or maybe a beanstalk or something like that, and transporting you to, you know, they kind of remind me of like the Sunshine secret areas. You know, they're kind of like an isolated instance, and they have things to collect inside of them. Sub areas will always have
Вообще не видел, чтобы Dangerous именно в этом мире собирал специально фиолетовые монетки. Возможно, костюм нужен для какой-то определенной звезды, и он боится, что ее получит. Я бы, честно, так и тоже не очень хорошо понял. То есть, есть ли у них правило получить только несколько заданий только тут? Или можно... Или можно бесконечно ролить разговор. Но, в принципе, разговор не тратит так, чтобы много времени. Там по 3 секунды на то, чтобы поговорить с попугаем.
Nobody says we need to collect them all. We just need enough to leave, right? So I grabbed all 3 just to see what my RNG was, and I decided that this moon. Wait, do I know where I'm going? Hold on a second. This moon over here is probably the fastest one that I can get. This is long luggage, and it's just a quick little ground pound moon. We didn't end up putting on the sombrero today.
Говорит, что обычно все время приходится покупать сомбреро. Вот зачем он, в принципе, и собирал фиолетовые монетки, но в этот раз ему это не пригодилось. Это своего рода рандомайзер для Super Mario Odyssey. В Толкоту процент есть хардкорный, есть простой. Вот мы играем простой, где учитываются лунные истории с боссов, и которые меняют локации. Вот ту, которую он поднял при помощи электричества. Есть на хардкоре, где не учитываются эти луны. Не так, чтобы это прямо очень усложняло, но в некоторых местах лун истории можно набрать, ну точнее, в каждом мире лун истории по 6 плюс почти, потому что 2 босса плюс некоторые луны, которые меняют историю. Внешние блоки. Now, the way that no speedrunner ever goes through the Sphinx here, this is like the intended way to get into Steam Gardens, but speedrunners just kind of jump up. Отвечаем на загадку Сфинкса.
This is the quickest way to talk it to, so that's why we're
И вот
going
это
this way. Okay, so he's already giving me some sub areas now. Okay, that's not so
Что мы
bad.
не хотим в этом мире увидеть? Мы не хотим, чтобы нас отправляло вниз. В Lost World называется, по-моему, потерянный мир. Скорее всего, ему все равно придется, но может быть и нет, посмотрим.
Can be collected right away. That's the easiest way to say that. Like, we probably have to beat Speward as fast as possible here in order to kind of get the benefit out of the moons that we just got. So that's what I'm going to do. But the really crummy thing about this kingdom is that once you've completed a story element, sometimes kingdoms have like states, and the kingdom will change states based on what you've accomplished. When you beat Speward, all of the checkpoints that are on like this side of the kingdom where we're at right now, they just disappear. So if I get any moons on this side of the kingdom anymore,
интересную деталь рассказал Dangerous о том, что когда мы побеждаем здесь босса, к которому он сейчас идет, после победы над ним некоторые чекпоинты с той части мира, в которой мы стартовали, пропадают. Это странная техника, но это не спидранерская, это просто вот intended разработчиками. Я не очень понимаю, зачем, но окей, хорошо. Это действительно неприятно и сложно. Как для спидранера, так, в принципе, может быть, для казуального прохождения тоже. Да, я тоже посмотрел правила несколько раз, посмотрел несколько часов, несколько отдельных забегов, и не нашел нигде, что там должно быть определенное количество разговоров с Толкоту. Поэтому, я так понимаю, что можно и бесконечно разговаривать с Толкоту. Я все-таки подозреваю, что Толкоту еще может повторяться, но я не знаю, как он сам по себе работает. То есть, возможно, он не умеет повторяться.
Yeah, just a couple of sub areas in this one, but even like Luncheon is pretty strict on keeping that rule pure, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's just wooded, which is what makes wooded kind of the. Oh, I should probably get this guy.
Funny.
We'll get you. The Bunbird.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna.
Еще в этой категории есть правило, что все луны, которые ты собрал без попугая, Может быть, да, он 2-3 раза за раз дает. Я как бы, я опять же не смог это почувствовать, понять. Это, наверное, самому поиграть, чтобы понять. Насчет лун, которые мы просто собираем, то есть если мы собираем луны, которые попугай не назвал, то они не учитываются в общий пул лун. И нужно запомнить, что ты взял луну не по совету попугая. То есть без попугая мы не собираем луны. А если собираем, то должны запомнить, что мы их собрали. Вот Денджерс рассказывает про подземный или потерянный мир и говорит, что не хотелось бы туда не спускаться, и я тоже надеюсь, ему не придется. Тогда это будет очень, очень хороший рандом. Ну, на мой взгляд.
And I got elevator blind spot. So this is a sub area, but luckily the sub area Moon it gave me was just this one, which is right at the beginning. So it's not that big a deal. Sometimes that's kind of the nice thing about like getting one sub area Moon and hoping, crossing your fingers, you don't get the other one, because one can be like hidden in.
Поэтому, в принципе, теоретически можно собрать луны, которые тебе не нравятся по дороге. Да, ты потеряешь время на то, чтобы прошла анимация, но тебе не придется туда возвращаться. Если вдруг толкоту скажет тебе за такой луной идти. Ну, в таком случае он просто не скажет тебе за ней идти.
Yeah, that one can throw you off if you're not reading well enough. Got the deep part of the deep woods in there, so you got to make sure you're kind of got your reading comprehension right. Because if I come back and he starts like saying the same thing over and over again.
Да, Денджерс как раз говорит, что попугай может повторяться. Это все-таки значит, что у него есть какой-то пул, или точнее какое-то ограничение по количеству мун, которые он может назвать. Занимательно. То есть рандомайзер без возможности сильно его обузить. Так что...
I know that I said earlier that all the checkpoints on like the far side of the kingdom kind of got obliterated, but I can combat that by getting this one that's up here. I don't think this checkpoint really needs to exist personally, but
насколько я знаю, все луны с историями.
And I get a story moon as well.
Вот с такой анимацией.
I mean, without it, you'd have to traverse that field every time.
Они как раз идут в зачет, так что все окей. Пойдем ли он сразу развалить босса? Нет, просто. Босс обычно не развалить. Потому что все-таки много времени идет на то, чтобы собрать с босса 3 луны там. Приличное время его нужно. Бить. Какой же огромный мир все-таки. Многоуровневый. Только всяких закоулков. Не знаю, вот посмотрел рандомайзер и реально загорелся желанием пройти Марио. Что я не проходил, у меня лежит просто. Лежит возможность поиграть в эту штуку.
Cool little fact that if you grab the rock that has a moon in it and you walk it over to any other rock, it'll break immediately. I know in my casual play, I spent a lot of time throwing the rock at the ground a bunch of times and just like hoping that it was going to break. Especially there's one in Ruined Kingdom later on. Not the one that we're going to get worried about, but... Oh, look at that! Wow!
There it is! Foreshadowing, like, you gotta love it.
Prophecy, I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Я получил луну, которую не хотел бы получать.
You know, as par for the course for GDQ runs, but you'll see why it's as annoying as it is in just a moment.
But there is the benefit that now you can show a lot of people who got really annoyed by this moon in their casual playthrough how to do it quickly.
That's true. I mean, quickly with big quotation marks, because quicker, true.
Да, эта игра не только хороша казуально, но и для просто для спидрана, для такого, чтобы получить кайф. Пришлось отправиться вниз, и сложность звезды, которую ему подсказал Толкоту, это в том, что нужно сажать семечки. А еще нам нужно полить. Да, Марио, естественно, любителя, но если вам зашел все-таки Марио, лучший Марио сейчас это Mario Odyssey.
Now, before I go over there, though, I'm just going to throw this seed into this pot. That beanstalk in particular takes me to exactly the place I want to be. Oh, this is not going to be good. Hold on a second.
Look at that big dog.
Sir, can you? No, sir, can you come back here, please? Go to sleep. Thank you. Yeah, he's just having a nap. Don't worry, he's fine. We're gonna grab the coin coffer.
Мы попытались избежать, чтобы он динозавр нас не увидел. Динозавр в маленькой шляпке.
Wrong little coin coffer, go! It's okay, he'll get tired, I think.
Потеряет ли он нас из виду? Потерял, отлично.
What have I done? Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
There we go.
Go back to sleep. Oh, the plant is right here. This is gonna be such a mess.
I feel like you're reigniting the fire of anger in many people.
Нет, динозавр не ешь нас.
Oh man, are you just happy we got this moon, Dangers?
Oh, I'm so happy, you know? Oh, wait, did he just crush the coin coffer? No, he didn't. Okay.
At this point,
Please
it might
crash
just
into
be...
the tree.
I was going to say, at this point, it might just be better to do the outfit moon now. Just reset.
Oh, maybe.
Не заметь нас, динозавр, пожалуйста.
Don't come over here. I will
Вот
try.
это звезда, вот это спидран. Ну не повезло ему.
He's sniffing.
Кстати, нужно трясти контроллер, чтобы переместить это дерево.
No. So I'm shaking my
Это
controller,
монетное
by the way,
дерево.
for this plant.
Смотрите, сколько монет мы потратили.
Fastest
Просто
way to get
минус
this thing to spew
600
coins,
монет,
you just
по-моему.
stand like right on top of the plant and shake your controller. Then you'll feed it, and I fed it approximately 500 coins. Hopefully I wasn't like one short, or I will be very sad.
You should be 20 over, so you should be good.
Okay.
I'm glad you were
Unless
paying
I'm wrong too.
Да, даже если, я не знаю, сам персонаж вам не сильно нравится, как там Марио или там, ну не зашел вам сам по себе Марио. Как игра, это, ну,
Doesn't
очень
happen very
солидная
often. I
игра.
love that. Oh man. Little Benny Hill theme in the background, maybe during all that.
Или там Nintendo не нравится.
All right. So those are our two.
Политика
quick
Nintendo,
moves for
конечно,
now.
заставляет
We
делать
just
лучше.
need 3 more. And we can get the heck out of here and avoid the dino. Don't anger him. You stay
И,
over there, sir.
наконец, мы покинем это королевство, но надеюсь, или точнее, и надеемся, что
Now, I picked
навсегда.
this beanstalk specifically. It might have been faster to grow a different beanstalk, but I picked this beanstalk specifically because it's actually Talkatu's beanstalk. He planted it himself. He's very talented. So,
A smart bird.
fire in the cave. Okay, these are great moons
Ooh,
for the
that
last
was
ones. So fire in the cave is just this one up here. This one's actually like surprisingly quick. We just don't use it in speedruns because it's just a little bit too out of the way. We just have to come in here and leave Cappy behind and then bop this guy. Easy moons.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be too bad if there just wasn't a lot of cutscenes attached to it.
Yeah.
Оставались еще 2 луны, и он уже знает, какие должен будет
And the
собрать.
last two
Отлично.
moons are just over here. First thing we're gonna do is stack up some Goombas. Just have to go into the fog sub area and then we're all set. And that's Wooded Kingdom. And it behaved exactly like I expected Wooded Kingdom to. So
It was everything I
Could've been
hoped for.
yeah, I guess it could have been worse. We could have got the hint art too. That would have made things fun.
Yeah, so I mean, even
Да,
though
он
you're
в журнале
there is
показывает,
still a
какая луна
chance that
нужна.
We may have to potentially explain why you picked it first later on, but we don't have to worry about that right now.
Yeah, because it's kind of it's a double whammy. It's very helpful to pick Wooded first, is all I'm gonna say, and hopefully we don't have to find out why.
Yeah.
Жесть, сложное место.
Now, this sub area is a really fun one to just kind of jump around in.
Ничего
You know
не
where
видно.
you're going. It can be very satisfying. It's easy to get lost, of course.
Can't think of this sub area any other way since the crash.
Since the crash, did it crash
Yeah.
on you? And
So
yeah.
little known fact about this sub area: if you die on the same frame you collect the last shot, the game just crashes.
that's amazing.
Well, it's like it's not even one of those crashes with the switch where it tells you there's an error. It just stops, and then you have
Just
to
ceases
close
to
the game.
exist. That's fantastic. I mean, not really. Sorry about your speedrun, but
I mean, it was funny, so.
Мы прошли
content, right?
Exactly.
2 мира. Всего за 30 минут.
Relatively unscathed coming out of there. I'm surprised. So we will take that. The next kingdom we go to is Lake, because we did.
Подводное королевство. Оно короткое, достаточно все близко расположено, так что мы его должны быстро.
It's short and sweet, and
Быстро пролететь.
really enforces that point of like how we could do the story right away. Like we could go ahead and complete the Rango fight because it's like sitting out in the open, but the whole idea that the moon pool has a limited amount of moons, but it'll expand if we complete world peace is the reason that we kind of leave it for last as like dessert. And there's a couple kingdoms we're gonna do that.
Алкату живет
this one being the first one, but
под водой.
Talkatu lives in the little
Возьмем чекпоинт.
enclosure down there that you can see. That's Lake Lamode. I am going to get the checkpoint there just so that we can warp up to the boss fight when we're ready. But then we're just going to come down here, collect some checkpoints along the way. And here's our friend.
Кубатян.
Super secret zipper. Okay, that's actually a really good one. Jump, grab, cling, climb some more. It wants me to do the sub areas from the broken pillar.
Oh, at least that one's right there.
Yeah, this one's right here. That's really handy. And then we'll do the zipper sub area and then warp back. And the zipper sub area is actually really funny too. So we got the secret moon. There's usually in a sub area, there's like a well-defined ending to the sub area, and that'll be like your regular moon in the sub area. But then there's always going to be one kind of off the beaten trail secret quote unquote sub area. And for this one, oops, Mario, what are you doing? For this one, you can kind of just jump around this corner.
Самый логичный способ это взять эту луну.
Certainly.
Просто прыгай в темноту,
Exactly.
в неизвестность.
I don't see anywhere else you can
Ну
go.
просто так тоже знать надо.
What do we got talking to? Let's go swimming, Captain Toad. I would love to. Moon shards in the lake. Okay, so we didn't really get. You know what? I'm going to talk to one more time just because I'm not satisfied. But we're going to go get the moon shards.
Сборные луны всегда одинаковые, собираются из 5 частей. Собираешь 5 частей и получаешь луну.
While I'm collecting these shards, we can probably do like 1 or 2 more donations.
Now, Dangers, we talked about pun.
Oh, yes, we did.
Y'all ready for this?
I've never
Kitty's
been more
Gone
ready.
Rogue has sent in $250 that says, "Best of luck to the best of birds. It's hard to swallow just how cool and skillful you are. I'm sure you'll meet all your goals for the run, with 2 awesome friends egging you on. This GDQ run is truly a feather in your cap for you to crow about, and your whole community is flocked behind you. We love you, DD. Let's see that cap fly."
Much love, kitties. Thank you for the donation and for the just the onslaught of puns. See, I told commentators, I told Fur and Tim to.
Будет много шуток, связанных с тем, какая тематика у Dangersa на стриме. Это тематика птичек. У него почти, ну да, получается, почти все эмоты связаны. Из птиц состоят. И будет много шуток, связанных с этим. Этого я не видел, интересно, что он делает. Так понимаю, он пытается зайти в текстуру, но...
Where we need to put on something that resembles a swimsuit, but instead of that, we can bonk our face into a wall. Instead of that, we can clip in. So that's what I'm gonna do.
This is a very hard clip, like very difficult one.
Как сказал Dangerous, тут можно использовать костюм, но, видимо, это прямо намного дольше, чем сделать клип.
And this one's particularly tricky because the out of bounds movement afterwards is
really
tough. But yeah, you just kind of like jump right up from underneath there.
Very nice.
And then the moon's waiting for you. And didn't even need to put on a swimsuit. Let's go.
Heck yeah. Are you saying you don't swim in your explorer's outfit?
И последние 3 луны собираем с босса и будем уходить с этого мира.
some water there, right? So
Yeah,
he wrestles
take a quick.
crocodiles. So I'm sure Mario wrestles crocodiles in that outfit.
I think so, yeah.
Now, I said that this boss fight here, these 3 story moons, they're kind of like dessert.
Почему мы оставляем эти 3 луны в конце? Потому что мир сильно расширяется из-за этих лун.
RNG involved with them, like we're free to collect these, like the center square of a bingo card anytime. And the second thing is, whenever you collect a multi-moon like this, the game will automatically put you directly.
А также это очень удобно, потому что она сейчас телепортирует сразу же к нашему полету. Я не знаю, как называется этот. Ну, он называется Одиссея, да, получается. Ну, пускай будет Одиссей. В общем, к Одиссее нас телепортирует. Вот это вот шляпа.
I probably talked to Talkatoo a little bit more than I wanted to, just because I was really hoping I got that clip moon. I wanted to show you.
Мы сразу, получается, отдаем луны и летим дальше.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see in a run.
For sure.
Yeah, with this being all RNG, like my mind is racing with all of these cool tricks that I can show off at these GDQ events. But you know, the ultimate sayer at the end of the day is Talkatoo himself, so. You know, he was kind to us in that game.
Переходим к метро. Это очень большой мир. Звезды в нем сильно раскиданы. И посмотрим, повезет нам или нет.
Oh my gosh, really? Really? We're going to Metro?
Yeah, we're going to Metro.
Oh, heck yeah.
Just avert your eyes from the screen for another 10 minutes, and we'll be going to Metro.
All right,
Но сначала нам нужно будет сразиться с боссом.
И
It's true. This is a kingdom that Talkatoo is kind of scared to be in, mainly because there's only like 10 moons in total, and most of them are post-game, so we don't really need to worry about Talkatoo here. Oh, I missed it. That's okay. We don't have to worry about Talkatoo here because he doesn't.
Ну, в этом королевстве тоже есть луны.
Прикольно. Anyways, so all we have to do is just beat up Bowser and move on to the next one, which is definitely Metro. Smile.
Но здесь нет Толкату.
Yeah, that would be rude, right? Always kind of fascinating. A lot of people probably watching this game be speedrun for the first time. This like fast hats strategy. You get right up in Bowser's faces. He lines up all of his hats in front of himself, and with a well-timed backflip, we can usually just take care of it immediately instead of waiting for him to kind of go through his phases of throwing them at us.
И потерянное королевство. У нас сломалась Одиссея. Здесь тоже есть Толкату. Это, наверное, одна из любимейших локаций Dangers'а. По той простой причине, что здесь реально немного лун и очень маленький мир. Главное, чтобы комбинация лун была хорошая.
And I mean, that's the thing with Lost Kingdom, is that just about any combination is really nice. There's no story moons to kind of break up the flow of this kingdom, and it's really small. So any of the moons that Talkatoo gives you, barring like maybe 1 or 2 oddballs, they're going to be pretty quick to get, and then you can just kind of go back to Talkatoo right away. And just kind of keep getting those moons that way. And we only need 10 to leave, so that's usually like 3 or 4 visits to, well, I guess it would be 4 or 5 visits to Talkatoo, and then you're just good. You can just leave.
Магазин выпал.
Something to note if you're not too familiar with Odyssey speedrunning is there's another bird in this kingdom, Klepto, and Danger's, like the way he's maneuvering, he's making sure he's not stepping into...
Да, в этом же королевстве есть птицы, которые воруют вашу шляпу, и желательно не попасть в триггер. Или точнее, Danger специально будет ходить так, чтобы не попасть в триггер катсцены, где шляпу отнимают. Почти в каждом мире есть магазин с одной луной, и, соответственно, их нужно выкупить. Благо, они недорогие, всего 100 монет.
Getting a shopping moon here, as you can see. The shopping moons, there's one in every kingdom, so it's not like we'll get one shopping moon and then that's the only shopping moon that exists. Every single kingdom has a shopping moon, so I mean, if we got
Стараемся собирать монеты, потому что, ну, почти всегда есть возможность, что выпадет магазин.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting little combination.
Unfortunately, I feel like in Talkative you end up in enough places where you can easily access a lot of coins.
Yes.
So it never really becomes too much of an issue because it would be very unfortunate to get enough shot moons that you would run short.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like the shot moons are more of a kind of pressing thing in the bigger kingdoms anyway. In the smaller ones, you usually don't get them or need them. So.
Он тот тоже находится почти что в каждой локации.
I love that guy.
Странно, что он не собрал сокровища. Он говорил, что...
Little dance is so precious. Helping us out on his adventure as always.
What a cutie.
Не, он по 3 точно дает. Он по 3 раза разговаривает.
Run so far, actually. So he's really helping us out today.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's the third.
Потому что иногда он останавливается на 2 или на 1, если эта луна очень близко. И на 2, если это пара
So we got
близкая.
Soaring over Forgotten Isle, and then we got Twist and Turn Up Treasure. Now, if you've played this game, you know that Twist and Turn Up Treasure requires you to collect a key, and the only way you're supposed to be able to get that key is by bringing one of the stretchy Wiggler boys all the way across the kingdom over to where the Odyssey is. But I'm actually going to use our friend Glydon here to do something a little spicy instead.
That was a wacky bounce.
I know. If I line it up just right, put him like right here.
Жесткий.
Home in at the right time that I grab
Жесткий.
capture Glydon at the same time.
Классная стратегия, конечно, он взял ключ, и, судя по всему, этот ключ почти сразу это убивает, потому что там внизу смерч, получается, из воды или из кислоты, непонятно. Но при стратегии, что ты бросаешь шляпу, оставляешь его возле возможного переселения, получается, активирует просто шляпу и
It's a very easy game to get into, but the amount of technical precision that is afforded to you because there's so many things you can do with the combination of Mario and Cappy together means that you can do some really fancy stuff and some really complicated stuff if you have good timing with your inputs. That being, you know, one of many.
Итак, мы добрались до метро.
Like having those on the back of your hand, it takes a lot of experience to be able to do it, and that's why it's so fun. So, hey, Fur, you can open your eyes now.
Oh my. Is it here, Dangers?
It's here. We made it.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is probably
it's raining. This isn't what they showed in the trailer.
No, it's not. It's kind of dark.
This is probably one of the longest stretches in the run where we can't really do anything.
Толкоту в ночной секции нет, нам объясняют, и нам нужно победить босса сначала. И ты просто проходишь мимо луны такой. Луна. Я не могу тебя собрать, потому что птица еще не сказала мне тебя взять. Мне очень жаль, Луна.
So we just have to like run by them all. This one is especially hard to like ignore up at the top of the city hall.
Ooh, the fast strat there. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
Чувствуется, что не хватает практики просто. Но ничего.
This is our fault, Timpani.
В Steam это почти 100% должно укладываться.
Oh my god.
Bro, I thought you were looking forward to this kingdom. Why are you letting me down like this?
Well, I was excited, and then it wasn't anything like it was in the trailers. It's all rainy and gloomy. I was looking for excitement and flair and lights and pizza and oh my gosh,
pizza.
Yeah,
dude,
I think they'd have. I think they'd have pretty good pizza in Metro Kingdom.
Probably. Has anyone had a new donkey in style pizza before?
Простой босс-файт. Обузим его.
I have not.
Просто ждем, когда он выскочит, он телепортируется. Мы можем встать за портал, и он нас не заденет, когда будет входить.
This is the only way that you can access the day metro portion of the game is by completing the Night Wiggler, this Mecha Wiggler boss fight, and there are not enough moons in the kingdom anyway, in an any percent run to...
Да ничего не будет, просто ему нужно будет посчитать, что он не собрал еще... Точнее, что он собрал лишнюю луну, и нужно будет собрать на одну луну больше.
complications. There we go. Get it out of here.
Я уже рассказывал о том, что теоретически можно собирать луны, которые слишком далеко, чтобы толкоту тебе о них не говорил. Просто тебе нужно запоминать, что ты их взял. Вот. Но это почти не используется в ране, потому что собрать луну или звезду, так сказать, слишком много времени занимает.
My pleasure. $150 from Teo. Hey, Aditi. I'm glad you get to showcase this run for the world. Whom's better to show off the burb run than a burb? P.S. Shout out to Sarah. Say hi to mom and dad for me.
Oh, that's super sweet. Thank you, Tail. Tail's a good bean.
$50 from Lulu889X. Been looking forward to watching this Odyssey run all day. Good luck, Dangers. Burb bless.
Перемещаемся в светлую часть мира. Дождь кончился, и появляется толкоту.
That simply says, Burb.
Perfect.
You'll love to see it.
And Burb, he is. Here we are. Okay, City Hall lost and found. So the reason that we didn't pick up that moon is because he might give it to us. And oh boy, we got the rewire in the neighborhood too. This is just peachy. Lots of sub areas in Metro, and we have to go into all of them. I'm just gonna double check which moon this one was. Moon shards. Okay. So Metro Kingdom is a very large kingdom. It's very kind of maze-like and complicated. And there are lots of sub-areas, like lots. A lot of them are very small, but because they're so numerous, you know, it's very, very, very easy to
Пытается забузить хитбокс. Хорошо.
This up, but if I get my aim just right, there it is. I can collect that shard without having to move anywhere. That's pretty cool.
I don't think I've actually seen that before.
Нам нужна только эта луна, и тут оказывается есть еще одна.
Only need the moon shards here, so we don't need to worry about the other one. Rewiring the neighborhood. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here. The moons that we got from beating Mecha Wiggler, obviously those were story moons. But when you get to the daytime portion, there are some other story moons that we can get in the form of band members.
Лун по истории, когда мы просто должны поговорить с музыкантами, чтобы собрать группу или банду.
That exist around the kingdom to kind of get 4 free moons, and this is going to be the kingdom.
Достаточно большой мир, поэтому мы будем собирать, в принципе, луны, которые по дороге есть из группы.
Indeed.
Also, shout out to the Ghost Band. All right, so rewiring the neighborhood is in another sub area. And the sub area is right underneath this building here. It actually requires an outfit, or as we said earlier, maybe sometimes just a barrel. There we go, and we just slip right into the building like this.
Нужно бы иметь специальный костюм, но
walls don't exist.
Без костюма обходимся в общем.
This is one of the saddest clips for me because I really love the outfit in this kingdom.
Yeah, it's true. You get like the Mario Maker outfit, right?
Yeah, it's really cute.
This is again a sub area, so we are skipping one of the outfits, or sorry, one of the moons that are in here, and it's probably the faster of the two. But if we get it, we'll just come back in and we'll break the game again if we have to. It's fine. I'm sure the game doesn't mind. I forget what my other one was. I'm just gonna quickly double check.
City Hall, Lost and Found, I believe.
Oh right, okay, we can do that really fast too.
That's my penance for cursing you in the city hall. Remembering the moon.
Wow.
True. Thank you very much. You seem to have some sort of divine affinity to this city hall. Tim has a very heroic backstory.
Самая луна, которую мы открыли в самом начале, но не стали подбирать, потому что она может выпасть.
This category has, like, you know, mistakes sometimes happen. The rules of Talk 2% are, dare I use the word, arbitrary. So if you
Вот как раз Dangerous нам говорит о том, что не волнуйтесь, даже если вы собрали лишнюю луну, вы всегда можете набрать еще одну дополнительную. Просто и всего. Главное, не забудьте об этом, что вы собрали на одно больше, или точнее, что вам нужно собрать на одно больше.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there.
Those two combo together really nice. I'm gonna see if I can dram. Actually, I don't want to do that, do I? Yeah, I'm just gonna warp instead. I lied. I'm not gonna dram.
But it would have looked cool.
It would have looked cool. It would have looked cool. Swaying in the breeze is this one.
Я бы мог ее собрать,
Another
конечно.
moon that's kind of just like hanging out
Но
in the middle of the air that I could have collected earlier if I was feeling
ну,
greedy.
достаточно
But
быстрая луна,
thankfully I
поэтому
didn't because
собираем, когда нужно.
That one's a weird moon for me. This is a star in 64 called Swinging in the Breeze, and I've ever since I learned.
И одна халявная луна с
confusing
музыкантом.
the two.
which one's swinging and which one's swaying? We'll never know.
You got the moon 2 seconds ago. I've already forgotten.
I don't remember either.
All right, there's our bassist. We have 2 more musicians to get, should we choose to get them. One of them is actually sitting right next to Talkatoo, so a freebie for us whenever we need it. The other one is on a rooftop somewhere. I might just get them anyway. Ooh, speaking of rooftops. Rooftop is the one over the slots machine, right?
Сколько Dangerous бегает 100%
I believe so.
этой игры
What a
тоже?
combo that is. Dude, Talkatoo loves me.
По-моему, за 12 часов.
We got a seed. Now, if you've ever
Кстати,
played
не
this
так
game,
давно он сделал этот
maybe
ран.
haven't, so I'm gonna let you know. The seeds in this game work on real time.
По
So,
большей
in order
части
for
он
the
знает,
seed to
где
grow,
расположены почти
it's
все
gonna
звезды.
take 20 minutes to grow. And you might be thinking, well, that's annoying. A little bit, but that's okay.
Игра не
The game
знает,
doesn't actually
сколько
know what time
времени
it is.
сейчас,
It
поэтому
just
мы
kinda
просто
goes off of
поменяем
what the
время,
Switch tells it, so we're gonna just very cheekily go into our system settings
потому что,
and change the date to.
чтобы
Yeah, it's
вырастить
July now, so that makes sense.
семечко, нужно,
This is
чтобы
gonna be
прошло
live
время.
Chat.
У нас нет времени
Yes,
ждать,
it's a month
мы
of your
поменяем время
Oh, it's a
вручную.
month, right? Yeah, because
Oh no.
date structure. I forgot.
So
You didn't-
yeah,
hope
if you
you
have
never
played this
used
game, oh no. Yeah, again, if you have played this game, then you'll know that that seed should still be ungrown. But there it is, just like that. So. Quick little double check to what I had there. Dizzying Heights. Okay, so that's a perfect little combo too. We'll take that. Dizzying Heights is at the very tippy top of Metro Kingdom, which is going to be a perfect lead into our 3rd musician.
Which musician is your favorite musician, Dangerous?
Well, I play guitar myself, so it probably should say the guitarist. But I feel like they're the one that kind of gets forgotten about the most because everybody collects the drummer. Because the drummer's right there. Everybody knows the bassist because of O-Tip.
True.
The trumpeter is on a roof, and nobody knows how he got there. So that's pretty stylish. And then there's just the
That is,
guitarist, and
it's
he's
true.
chilling in the park. So
How did he get up
lots of questions in Metro Kingdom. Who piled garbage on this? Who takes out the trash? All right, so I think
Можем просто поговорить еще разочек с Толкоту, получить еще 2 звезды и пойти взять 3 звезды.
Eye over the crowd, that's a good one. Off the beaten wire, so we do have to go into that sub
По
area again.
истории.
And sewer treasure, dude. What are the odds? What are the odds of that? Okay, so, well, what should we do here first? I'm actually going to go up here.
For those who don't know, Sewer Treasure is a moon that is locked behind getting all 4 musicians because you can't access the sewer until you have talked to them all, and Pauline gives you access.
Придется
to the sewer.
взять гитариста.
That's right. So
Yes.
we are going to have to collect the guitarist. In fact, I probably should have done that first, but that's okay.
Ну, вам все равно пришлось
We do
бы,
have to
наверное, его
collect the
взять.
guitarist. But to be honest, I was gonna
Теперь у меня
probably
просто
do that
больше
anyways.
целей пойти.
I wanted to go into the sewers for a particular reason.
И забрать
Now I
гитариста,
have
потому
whatever
что... Потому.
You could try and show the other cool clip.
You
That's
could.
right. That was the goal. This one is
Yeah.
probably the hardest roll cancel
Жалко,
clip in
что
the game.
приходится в
So
этот
if
мир
we're here for
возвращаться
20
2
minutes,
раза.
Well, I won't do that to you, don't worry.
And if he gets it,
Но
just
благо
try and
клип у
remember
него
to
выходит
use an
достаточно быстро.
appropriate pog emote.
Only an appropriate one, though, please.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm personally a fan of bird pogs.
Yep,
Those
it's
are
a
a
good
nice
one.
pog. We accept that pog in this house.
Пара-пара.
There's our guitarist. He's jamming away. And then what was it in the... Was it over the crowd or in the crowd?
I think it was over.
High. It was high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that one. This is another sub area, of course. Just gotta traverse these trapeze like this. And we're gonna leave just out the front door.
Отдельно. Идеальное
We've unlocked the sewers
совпадение,
already,
так
so
сказать. Сразу
we're
же
in
идем в
perfect
подземелье
position to just kind of hop in
или
there.
в канализацию.
So we're gonna attempt another roll cancel clip.
Будем
This is called
пробовать
sewer clip.
делать клип.
The idea is that we can use a pipe to do the roll cancel clips that we've already been kind of doing.
Почему? Потому что, почему бы и нет. Один из самых сложных клипов. Для Any процента особенно.
This one again is probably the hardest roll
Ну, он
cancel clip in
справился.
the game. So if I don't get
Хорошо.
it, we might just go the regular way. Oh, there it is.
Hey.
Very good. For some perspective, that clip has been known about for 2-3 years, and we still don't have a consistent setup for it.
Yeah, there are some
Yeah.
like talkings about how to make it consistent and how to, you know, try and get a little bit more success rate out of it, but it just doesn't seem to have the same kind of visual cues that the other roll cancel clips in this game do.
На самом
so
деле,
it's very, very
один из самых
difficult,
сложных
so I'm actually really proud to get it on the fourth try like that.
клипов. Потому что большинство клипов имеет визуальное сопровождение, и мы понимаем, когда примерно нужно
We're just gonna go get the
клипнуться.
sewer treasure.
Да, мы
This
не
moon is just gonna hang right
синхронизировались.
here. Perfect
Но
combination.
Not even gonna turn the power back on for Pauline. I can't believe Mario.
Nope. I think my favorite thing about Talkatoo is that like,
называется.
sometimes getting story moons but not completing the story is the fastest thing that you can do. So you kind of just like pretend to help for a little bit and then
Да,
just
никто
still
не
leave
смотрит.
everything in disarray anyways. It's
Ай,
basically like the
никому
World
и не
Chaos
надо.
category, and it's led by a bird. Like what more could you love about that?
Who would have known birds are so chaotic?
I mean, I could have told you,
Oh, well.
Тогда,
You
ну, в
could've
этом
told
клипе,
me
короче, визуально непонятно,
but
когда
so
нужно
the
что
reasons for the
нажимать.
hint or for the choosing wooded first are kind of gone now, but that's for the better because we wouldn't have had to really want to use the reasons, if that makes sense. We have another proverbial fork in the road here. We're just going to pick the fastest one, which is snow. And while we're flying in... Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm like,
Ну, в принципе, сказали, я могу притормозить стрим ненадолго.
Yeah.
Раз,
While we're
два,
flying in, we can probably
три,
get
четыре.
one more donation in.
Absolutely. You're even getting some support from the characters in the game. I have
Oh, great.
$250 from Ivanosaurus Rex. It says, sorry for stomping on that coin coffer back in deep woods. Sometimes my prehistoric tendencies get the best of me.
Достаточно сложный мир.
Forgive you, Evan. Thank you.
Душит он погодой. Что там холодно.
Can I do one more?
Yes, go for it.
Like I say, characters supporting you because I have $100 from Talkatoo.
Oh.
It says, go find it! Go find it! Scraka!
I'm doing my best. You're
Берем
making
монетки,
things quite
чтобы
difficult.
открыть
Thank you
костюм.
for $100. That's wild.
Зимний костюм.
So we're dropping into Shiveria here, and Talkatoo lives down here with everybody else. Snow Kingdom is a bit of an interesting one.
И почему
Maybe one
же
of you guys can explain why.
Зимнее королевство прекрасно?
Yeah, Snow doesn't really have a lot of moons accessible before World Peace, so typically it's very common to get the same moons. So as you may have noticed before Dangers came into Shiveria, he picked up 9 purples.
Видимо, просто из-за того, что не так много лун открыто для Талкату, для того, чтобы рассказать, чтобы Талкату мог рассказать о них, по простой причине, что они просто закрыты за историей.
Definitely, yeah. I don't know the exact number, but if you include the story moons, the moon pool before you achieve world peace in this kingdom is probably only like 14 or 15. Like there's not very many. So the odds that you're going to
Почти всегда мы собираем одинаковые луны,
very, very high.
потому
There's
что
also
здесь
a
реально
hint art moon in
немного
here
лун.
as well. And the hint art goes back to like Lost, so you don't get that one because it's like way out of the way.
То есть все
So
сводится к
sometimes
тому,
if you get
насколько
that
хорошо
early, then you're only
Талкату
down to 2 top
раскидает
moons, and you
нам
kinda just have to deal with
луны.
it, which is great news.
Просто нам должно
Yep, so
повезти и
just
все.
get lucky.
Just get lucky. Exactly.
At the very least, the hint art moon is really the only one that's gonna hard block you. Fortunately, the rest of the moons aren't too bad. So at worst, you will have 2 slots left, but it usually doesn't get worse than that. That's very slick.
Fancy little movement to get back by the door there.
Что
Talk
только
to
то
is
всё
actually kind of
отлично
nice for the Snow Kingdom so far. They
делает.
basically just gave us the extra moons in these like story moon sub areas, which is great. That just means that I can do these sub areas. The reason that I didn't do the story moon in that area is because it was one of the brutal fights. We have to fight Rango on ice, no less, which is an absolute nightmare. And we don't want to do that because it's slow and kind of difficult. Like even for someone like me who has a lot of hours into the game, it's quite a difficult thing to do. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip that story moon. We're not gonna bother.
Блин,
waiting
прикольная
for
локация,
Rango
конечно.
today. But we will get the other story moons in the other rooms if we get those moons. So
No one ever wants to fight Rango on ice. You don't even fight Rango on ice in 100%.
yeah,
It's true, you don't.
Because Snow Kingdom is a weird kingdom. Like, it's one of the kingdoms that if you want to, you can clip out of bounds and kind of complete the story without completing every element of the story, and speedrunners do. So the moons, when you return to Snow Kingdom later, they don't like crash the game or anything. They kind of just sit on their pedestals and wait for you, which is really handy. It means that you can kind of skip the objectives. All right, we got a cold room one and a hint art.
И магазинчик снова выпал.
And shopping. Okay, that's perfect.
Есть смысл сходить в магазин, купить костюм тоже.
And we'll go talk to the Shivarians.
Got a little combo there.
We did, and we got enough purple coins for our outfit, so.
I didn't see her on. Was it an outfit room then?
Yeah, we got moon shards. The other one is slip behind the ice and
Не
hopefully
знаю,
we get
были
that
ли
fixed so that I don't have to go in there twice.
такого рода
But we're also gonna be doing
создания в
shopping
других
moons, so
Марио.
talk to
Я
you
не
can
видел.
give us one more.
По-моему, не было. Что-то какие-то новые велики. Так и не очень понял, как они называются.
Now,
Тюлени.
here's another interesting thing. If you are a fan of Super Mario Odyssey
Шевелицы.
speedrunning,
Раз это Шеверия.
the top level players, a trick that's been known for a really long time is something called
Хотя
Snow
какие-нибудь
Dram.
тюлени, если у них нет
Everything in this game
хвоста.
is called a dram if you haven't figured that out by now. But it's like a really fancy jump that you can do. Javarian treasure chest. Okay, we're just kind of going one at a time. That's fine. It's not a dram in the same way, like we're not
Выпал нам
capturing a thing
на сундук здесь сверху.
and then warping
Сразу его
back
заберем.
like other drams. This one is actually like a trick jump. So it's a little bit different. But the funny thing about it is that Talkatoo will never give you this moon at this point of the game because you're not supposed to be able to get there yet. It's a painting moon, but the painting is coming from a different place instead of going to a different place. Captain Toad. So we can't actually get the Snow Dram moon because
Не
Talkatoo will
повезло,
never
что
give it to us.
выпал
Which
нам
is kind of funny. But I think I might just do Snow Dram just so you guys know, because it is a pretty cool jump.
сразу
It's
же
one of those like impossible
Капитан
jumps.
Тодд.
Like, whoa, can
От
you
этого
get up
Капитана
there?
Тодда,
You
по-моему,
know, use
удобно
some fake
идти
title-y stuff.
к Одиссее,
I might as well show it
если я
off while
правильно
we're here.
помню.
It doesn't take very long when we warp back to the Odyssey.
Но тут все равно очень сложно поймать идеальный порядок.
Really want to get Captain Toad since he's basically the only moon out here that Talkatoo can give you.
But that is why I collected that checkpoint so that I could warp back up here as fast as I could.
You
The
can only
opposite-
blame.
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead.
You finish your thought.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a pipe that takes us down and up again, but you have to be at the entrance. So
Yeah. I was just gonna say Captain Toad's really the one to help us out this run, you know.
yeah, it's true. That's Captain Toad number 3. So I let that little triple jump off the screen like that. Get this moon. And then Talkatoo, give me one more. If it gives me the cold room, I'm gonna cry. So don't make me cry, please.
Не повезло, не повезло.
And we're crying. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna forego that. We actually put the snowsuit on for basically no reason. But
Костюм
that's
надели
okay.
просто так, но, в
Ну,
принципе,
вот,
почему бы и нет.
Mario was getting cold.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he is in the Snow Kingdom, so maybe.
Хотя,
maybe
в
he needs
принципе,
to
не
warm up a
кажется,
little
что очень далеко Луна. Но, видимо, были много...
So we're gonna get the story moon
Так что
instead.
ближе.
It's just a solo moon by itself. Opens up a little doorway. Watch a little cutscene.
А, ну да, он, получается, собрал ее сейчас. Это была Луна по истории, а она дает катсцену. Ну да, получается, длинная. А она не выпадает тоже от Толкоту.
Whoa, I thought that was impossible.
I thought so too.
What? World's first?
Shh, don't tell anybody. Secret tech. It's always funny to me because, like, by the time you get your snowsuit on in this kingdom to get the moons in the cold room, we didn't even get the cold room moons. But by the time you get the snowsuit on, you have to leave, and the next kingdom you go to is Seaside, which is like resort, hot, you know, like the Pacific a couple days ago.
He's just very
Дальше следующий мир
shy.
пляж. В нем тоже очень много
Yeah.
лун по
He's
истории.
just one of those guys that doesn't like to take his shirt off, unless you speedrun it.
И
in 10
насколько я
minutes.
помню, достаточно
That's a
короткий
whole
мир.
other story. But yeah, off to Seaside. Now, this kingdom is a little bit interesting. It's another small moon count one, but not necessarily a small kingdom. For that reason, I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to get maybe 3 Talkatoo moons. If he gives me really bad ones, maybe I'll
Будем надеяться, что
come
он
back here
выдаст нам
once or
хорошие
twice.
луны.
But I think we're just going to complete the story. I think we're actually going to do world peace here. We got Canyon Seeds, so we're definitely getting another one. Love by the Seaside. Looking back. Oh, okay.
Wow. Wow.
That's unfortunate.
That's a combination. That's what that is.
I was gonna add, yeah, usually Seaside is quite a lean and easy kingdom because it's just there's 4 story moons just out in the open, and then there's the multi-moon from the boss. So usually you would get 3 moons that are just typically quick.
В этом мире
There's
очень
a
много
lot of quick
быстрых
moons here.
лун, но, к сожалению, нам не
This was not a
выпали.
good example of that, but
И, кажется, ни одна не
it's okay.
выпала.
No, not particularly, but you know, it's all right. It happens.
It does happen.
It does let us kind of showcase some stuff, though. I suppose, like, nobody ever really sees the inside of this well, but I guess we're going to show it off today, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, let's go.
Сдобыл мороженое? Ничего себе ты жесткий.
Dangers, may I stick my beak in with a short donation here?
Absolutely, please do.
I have $5,000 from Schultzar.
Oh,
Says,
my goodness.
Always nice to see my favorite burb on the big screen. It's nice to see Talkatoo too.
Fair enough. Thank you, Schultzar. Holy buckets, that's a lot of money. You're one of the good ones, Schultzar. Thank you so much. All right. We're in the underwater lighthouse tunnel. This is just looking back in the dark waterway. It should be called looking
Да,
sideways in
супер
the dark
далекая
waterway,
луна.
but I mean, we're not going to nitpick the game for what it names its things. Even if I just did.
And for anyone that may not have realized, that cave was actually how you're supposed to get up to the lighthouse. The Dangers just got up to earlier with the Gushin.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I kind of like that one a little bit better. We can do with that one. So slip through the nesting spot is... Oh, you know what? I can even do something a little bit cheeky, can I? Let's do that. That sounds like fun. Instead of slipping through the nesting spot, if you guys are familiar with Super Mario 64, there's an angry eel boy. And the angry eel boy kind of guards a star in that game, and you have to like lure him out of his hiding spot. There's a moon like that in this kingdom as well. Did I zoom? I don't think I zoomed. I'm gonna have to do this again. Oh, no.
I lied.
Timp, you're cursing my tricks. What the heck?
I'm sorry. Just a heads up for anyone who is watching this. This is
Это не очень
something you
сложный
could
клип.
probably do yourself. It is very simple. You literally just
Но
swim
достаточно
forward,
забавный.
and as soon as your cheap can't go forward anymore, you hop out, swim back, and capture it again, and you can just keep swimming forward and leave. I guarantee it's definitely one of the easiest clips in this game, and as you can see, it lets
really
you
is.
see the whole kingdom.
Simply Fur actually has on his YouTube channel
Yeah,
a
it's-
video teaching you how to do it. So.
Yeah, I made a really old tutorial for when it was discovered.
Для людей просто
like a week
запасы
after
есть.
people
Им не
realized you could
приходится
do that.
досковать где-то мороженое.
So yeah,
А
really
мне-
easy if you were to learn
Ой,
one
а мне не
speedrunning trick
хочется
for Super Mario
мороженое
Odyssey,
вообще.
and like I said, it's a pretty
Вообще.
approachable game. That's probably the first one you can learn with very little problems
Yeah,
at all.
for sure.
And it's cool because you just kind of get to zoom around on the outside of Seaside Kingdom and you can see it from a completely different perspective. One that was totally intended. Yep, definitely. By the video game developers, for sure. Okay. So we're going to go up here. This is our last story moon that we're going to need. Up here.
It's almost almost a shame you didn't get your 10th Captain Toad win.
I'm kind
It
of
is a shame,
disappointed.
isn't it? I might just go say hi to him just because. Just because I'm feeling sad for him. At the very least, we can like look up at him. He's up there. Oh, we can't see him. No, he's
Oh
sad.
no.
Я так понимаю, мы будем драться с
that's
боссом, потому что
So
это
we're gonna
быстрее
drop
будет.
down here. We got
Ну, возможно, и нет,
love
посмотрим.
by the beach or by the seaside or something. So that's a Goomba moon. We have to take this little Goomba on an adventure and avoid all of the spiky things. Funny little story. There's a trick called vectoring, which is like, it's pretty prominent in a lot of 3D games. The idea that if you're traveling diagonally in the air, you gain more speed than if you just go in a straight line. That works with Goombas too. The Goombas kind of zoom
Ау.
if you do that, so it's pretty fun. Pretty fun little strat. We call them Zoombas.
Zumba.
All right. Wait, can I not?
You
Oh,
can't warp
I
during the
can't
boss.
warp. That's right, douche. I'm like, I'm learning things as I'm playing.
I literally didn't know you couldn't warp.
Сейчас
during the
босс-файт, и
boss fight.
поэтому
Never
нельзя
had to.
телепортироваться.
Yeah, this is one of those things that
Окей.
I forget. It's just a weird thing. It makes
It's one
sense.
of those quirky
but
game
it's
things.
Just yeah.
Can you leave the kingdom while this is happening too?
Yes.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Well, that's weird. So it was. I mean, I was gonna say this is Brigadier Moss, considered the third defendable blade. He is
What?
the. Yeah. Would you like me to repeat that?
Yes.
Brigadier Maul is considered the third defendable blade, and he is the kind of reigning Dauphin of Bublane. I don't even know. Like, what does a Dauphin do? I don't even know.
It sounds fancy.
It sure does. I'll
A
give him that.
dolphin?
The Dolphin of Bublane. That's right. He doesn't look like a dolphin.
doesn't.
Also,
Why would they call him that?
he's breaking the game. It turns out that Mario's not the only one who can clip through walls. So can Brigadier Maul consider the third defendable blade. So that's basically why I wanted to do the world peace in this kingdom, is just to show you that I'm not the only cheater here. All right.
Ей, чат полный клоунов,
really his
ура!
What?
Yes.
Brigadier Maul considered the third defendable
Видите,
blade?
все-таки
Yes.
кто-то смотрит. Кому-то надо. Блин, видите,
And
я
it's
сижу,
so funny,
кайфую.
because, like,
Отличная
how
игра.
could you make something?
Ну, очень скилловый спидран.
I'll be honest, I just wanted to hear
Но
you say it
рандомайзеры обычно
Anytime,
не упираются в
anytime,
скилл
but only
из-за
while
того,
we're in
что
Seaside.
нет
Then click
оптимизации.
one more for me.
All right.
В
Just
рандоме
for
нельзя
Brigadier
сделать
Maul considered the
идеальную
third defendable
оптимизацию.
blade. I
if you-
guess.
If you want to hear it properly, just clip that and slow it down to half speed.
Ой,
Yeah. People probably have no idea what I'm saying. Hopefully people in my community who are used to spelling it out, because I do this all the time on my stream too, maybe they can help some confused folks out at
So
home.
it's Brigadier. I already forgot it. Brigadier Mollusk Lancier, the third Dolphin of Bubbling.
That is correct.
Crust.
И мы закончили таким
There we go.
сводным
Oh, what a
королевством.
name. What's
На
in
самом
the name,
деле,
chat?
убивать
What's
босса
in the
реально
name?
долго. Нам не повезло, по сути.
That's Seaside. Now,
Поэтому...
probably my
м,
favorite kingdom just in general. Maybe not so much with Talkatu, because
Поэтому
it is a
что
very
имеем,
large
то
kingdom,
имеем.
and kind of like
Итак,
Wooded, it's
передвигаемся в
segmented kingdom, so if you
королевство
complete it, if you complete
вкусной еды.
elements of it too early, then you can kind of lock yourself out of doing some things. This is Luncheon Kingdom, and I like it personally. It's probably my favorite kingdom, just as a casual player, as just somebody who is looking at the game from a non-speedrunning perspective, because I just really like the design of this kingdom. They basically disguise
Да, дизайн
a
этого
lava
королевства
kingdom
просто
as a food kingdom
гениален.
with,
То есть
like,
они
molten Pepto-Bismol
спрятали
everywhere.
королевство лавы
I'm not sure what that necessarily
в
has to do with
виде
the food, but
королевства маршмеллоу,
You know, just in case.
фондю.
I'd say in regards to talk to this kingdom can definitely go vastly, wildly either way.
yes.
Like you could definitely have it a great luncheon, or you could have an abysmal luncheon. It really just depends.
You either have an unforgettable luncheon or a very forgettable, or you want to forget about it very quickly luncheon. One of
Yep.
the two.
Exactly.
It's just kind of how this category goes. But yeah, luncheon specifically is like that because it's very vast, very sprawling. So Talkatu could give you 3 moons, and one of them could be in like the bottom left corner, and one of them could be in the top right corner, and one of them could be smack dab in the middle. It's just kind of a mess. So that story moon there just kind of opens up this bridge and leads our pathway into town. and also opens up some other story moons that we'll probably be utilizing. And Talkatoo is very cheekily hiding. Oh, that was a nice little vault there. Right here. Lurking in the color shadow. I guess I'm going right back to where I came from.
Забавный
Rolling vegetables, okay.
саундтрек.
Extreme simmer. Okay, well we better
Oh,
get
that's fun.
better get our chef's outfit ready. I'm gonna need some wee chefs in the chat pretty soon.
You did mention it. Vastly,
did.
like one on one side, one on the other.
Yeah, because this one is at the start. I got one that was in the back corner, and then I got one that was right in the middle. It's like self-fulfilling prophecy. Speaking of birds, though, not just Talkatoo, I love the Luncheon Kingdom birds. These little like white puffballs. Turns out that like Odyssey kind of has a thing for birds, and it's great. And honestly, it's really great. You know, I might be biased, but I think it's pretty great.
I will say one good thing is a lot of the purple coins in this kingdom there are a lot of them condensed in the middle. So fortunately, even if you get an outfit moon there, they're all pretty close together. So it's not too bad to have to get 15.
Yeah, exactly. We can put on the outfit and make it so that Mario does not melt because he's still in a snowsuit right now. Probably not the most comfortable thing.
He seems pretty happy right about now.
Yeah, he is celebrating.
Mario's just a happy guy.
Hopefully he's
Надеюсь,
not
Марио не
experiencing, like,
перегреется в
hypothermia
этом
or
костюме.
something. Going a little bit delusional.
Думаю, с Марио все будет в порядке. Сильный мужчина, так сказать.
Okay, so we're gonna grab this photoboo. We grabbed the checkpoint as well. That checkpoint's gonna be really, really helpful as we kind of progress this kingdom.
Добираем 15 фиолетовых монеток ровно на костюм, если вдруг он нам понадобится.
It's actually Talkatoo's doing a really good job of giving me moons where I get to show off kind of cool stuff. So I guess I have him to thank for that. Even if the moons are kind of out of the way, they're still fun. So I'm gonna try for a jump here.
Прыжки с дэмэдж-бустом.
Nice.
That is a
Look at
scary.
that.
Yeah, that is a scary jump. It's very easy to mess up, and obviously the result of a mess up would just be death.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you just have to do it again. It wastes about 20 seconds every time you do it. And you do have to damage boost through most of the time, but it's a pretty flashy little trick. If I do say so myself, one of my favorites. Here's another little tricky jump, actually. One that's kind of unnecessary, but I mean, might as well show it off while we have to do it, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
just pile on that salt.
As it turns out, Talkatoo% is actually just a trick showcase disguised as a speed run.
Fur, don't blow my identity. What the heck?
I'm on to you, Dangers.
I mean, if you're not
Оказывается,
showing off-
Talkatoo% это просто показуха.
Turnips, too.
Спидранер
I love
показывает,
this.
какие классные скипы есть в игре.
Some more flashy
О
tech,
нет, вы
actually.
раскрыли
The
мою
turnips
личность,
might kinda
говорит
sound
Dangerous.
boring and, like, out of the way and
Да,
weird,
на самом
but
деле
I
очень...
like them for that, to be
Ну,
honest. I'm
это,
gonna show you why.
эта категория проверяет
Turnip tree is over here.
знание игры.
And he-
Полное
this
знание
boy
игры.
goes, "Yup,"
Да, по сути,
because he knows he wants to help.
What a friend.
да, почему бы и нет.
He's a good friend. He's shaped like one. This turnip, we're gonna leave our friend behind. So we kind of have to awkwardly traverse this kingdom. But with a series of triple jumps... Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. Spiny, can you leave me alone, please? Yeah, we'll just go up. We'll just go up the long way here. But we also got turnip recipe 1, which is kind of nice. Because we can kind of just make a
Приготавливаем
bulky
суп.
turnip soup here.
Yummy.
Talkatoo's right here again.
Пяу.
Very yummy.
Are you making it for Talkatoo?
Well, he's happy to help himself. It's going to be sitting here all day waiting for him, so...
True, true.
That's why he gave you both those moons.
Yeah, he
He's
was just hungry.
He's just getting me to do his grocery shopping. I see what it
Oh
is.
my god.
Unbelievable Talkatoo. All right. If you have any kind of cooking or chef emotes, I want to see him in the chat. This is probably how we're going to be dressed.
Итак, становимся Марио
for the remainder
шефом.
of the game, actually. Which is fitting, because before I entered my streaming journey,
Ле шеф.
I myself was actually a chef. I worked in kitchens for about 8 years, so it always kind of brings a smile to my face when we have a reason to put this outfit on, which is basically just Talkatoo. It's like the birds are looking out for me.
Теперь Гордон номер
The stars are
64.
aligning in that way. Extreme Simmer, this is an outfit room. Unfortunately, we can't clip into this one. It's not one of the cool sub areas. So we just have to take a photo booth through a pot and go up to the end.
Забавная механика, что
There's 2 moons in here, like all sub
мы
areas.
плавим
The other one's
томаты,
called Strong Simmer,
и они
and it's
служат нам
literally
как
just
лужица.
the other pot, which is kind of funny because a lot of people will just
First
skip over
time
that
in
their
chat.
first playthrough.
Wow. Welcome.
Shoot. While we're getting some more moons, maybe some time for some donations.
You got it, Dangers. $50 coming in from Neo Wolf. Super Mario Odyssey. Dangers? Moons dictated by a burb overlord? A good cause to donate to. Take my money. Always a pleasure watching DD do his thing. I can't stop raving about this egg-sighting impeccable poultry in motion.
Oh, that was like 6 in the same sentence.
Thank you, Neo Wolf. $200
thank you very much.
from the Denver block. Odyssey is one of the first games I completed with my wife, teaching her always to look around corners for moons. We're both avid fans of GDQ, and it's amazing to see Dangers find them all with ease and pizzazz. Shoutouts to Mitchell and Nick.
Shout out to Mitchell and Nick. Thank you for the donation.
Time for one more?
You bet. One more.
$25 from Bendy Jen. So many bonuses. Odyssey and 3 of my favorite streamers? Make the red cap go fast, Dangers. Wishing you a volleyball-free Talkatoo run.
Oh, thank goodness we didn't get volleyball. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been something.
Oh, dude, we're getting a lot of good ones. Oh, yeah, that was it. Okay. I'm trying to remember what the other one was that we have here. I'm gonna just double check. Oh, it's the ingredient. Okay, great. Yeah, this is awesome. Talkatoo's looking out for us.
This is making up for the snow.
All right, so this is complete RNG. This is probably like the hardest moon in the entire game. Oh, boom, got it first try. Let's go.
Wow, you're really lucky, Dangers.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
feel
just-
so lucky.
Just in case you weren't aware, that is really hard.
It actually is like that. That's a hard strat.
RNG, no. Unironically, quite difficult, perhaps. Yes. There is a little bit of an easier way to set it up. Like you can throw Cappy off to the side and then talk to him and like kind of release Cappy into them all. But yeah, it's still quite a difficult thing.
Ну это, короче, была слот-машина, и
Oh, shopping.
там луны менялись на другие, видимо, штуки. И поскольку он шапку просто раньше запустил, поэтому выглядело просто.
Man, Talkatoo really is just having you do his groceries today, isn't he?
I'm really glad I didn't say like for every coin I spend in this run I donate to GDQ because I would, well, I mean, I probably need to.
Дэнджерс очень рад, что не стал донатить на ГДК
We spent like 1,000 coins
в
so far.
долларах за каждую монету, которую он потратит, потому что он
One
бы
nice thing about
разорился по
Dangers
количеству
is
монет,
the
сколько
point
он
down
потратил
in
в этом
where
спидране.
The next story moon is a multi-moon, and it's actually, I believe, the fastest multi-moon in the game. So it's a really nice ending for this kingdom. So you don't actually have to get a full Talkatoo, what is it, 18? Yeah, 18. So you can get 15 and just cap off with the quick multi-moon, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's right. And it's going to be my second to last moon collection just because Love Above the Lava is going to be a little bit easier for me
Что,
to do
видимо,
if I do it in a
пойдем
PC
победим
state.
еще
That's
одного
about the
босса.
only, like one of like 3 or 4
Потому
moons that I
что...
would actually want
Хотя
to do
нет,
for
мы сейчас
after
вот получаем 3
doing this.
звезды, и плюс еще
Because,
одну
like
надо
I
просто
said,
строить.
getting this multi-moon shifts the kingdom quite dramatically. It actually completely eliminates the checkpoint that's in town that we've been using this whole time. So if we did that to ourselves, we'd be doing ourselves a pretty big disservice. So that's why we leave this multi-moon.
Эти 3 луны мы почти всегда оставляем в конец, потому что, опять же, куча чекпоинтов сейчас было удалено.
We've already done one love moon today. That was in Seaside just a moment ago. The reason that I left it for after opening up
Он оставил как раз-таки вот одну луну, за которой мы сейчас идем.
Numbered stack of Goombas right here for the moon that we need. Otherwise, I'd need to kind of like fetch a bunch of Goombas that are scattered around everywhere. So.
Oh, are those Goombas not there until after that multi-moon?
They are there, but they're like scattered around on a different platform, and they're not stacked together. So like it's a little bit more of a trek for them. kind of interesting. I had to find that out the hard way and talk to run on my own. So
You'll learn a lot of stuff like that doing Talkatoo runs, I bet.
definitely, yeah.
There's definitely a lot of little niche things.
Закончили с этим королевством, отправляемся в Китай.
Totally. And when you just do
Чина.
speedrun
World.
categories,
Но
you kind
сначала
of take
там
the
будет
stuff that you're doing
босс-дракон,
for
по-моему.
granted, and then, you know, when you try to improvise it like later on, you're like, oh, this actually doesn't exist until later. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So
Ра-па-да-пап.
there we go. We're all powered up. Get out of luncheon. Just like that.
I think it
And our next
definitely
game
adds. Oh,
Oh, go ahead, Fur.
I was gonna say I definitely think it adds a layer to like how impressive this is, because like not only does Danger's like he can see the moon name,
Но
it's like,
там
"Alright,
еще
I
есть
know what that moon
реснички,
is."
накрашенные губы и
He also like
туфельки.
knows all these little like niche
Так
things
что да,
about the kingdom, so he can
леди.
like, better string the moons together, knows when to get them and stuff like that. Like he's done a lot of these runs, and he
Наверное,
knows what he
сделаю себе
needs
еще
to
чай.
do
Что
to
это? Чай хочу.
be fast.
That's right.
Не расходитесь. Напоминаю,
Now, speaking of going fast, we are
ежечасное
not
напоминаю,
going
что
fast anymore
Мека
'cause we are in
молодец.
Ruined Kingdom.
Мы
This
собираем
kingdom
донаты
is, in my opinion,
врачам без
like,
границ.
if a game breaker were to come along and be
Все,
like, "Hey, we
что
found a way to
мы
skip Ruined
насобираем
Kingdom,"
также с нашего
you
стрима,
doing the
из-за того,
entire
что нам
community a big service because
по техническим соображениям нужно было сделать партнерку,
It's really hard, and speedrunners die here all the time. So if you could
тоже
find a way to
пойдет
skip it, that'd be
в
great.
ГДК. Так что
Yeah.
не стесняйтесь, ваша возможность
True.
поддержать ГДК
Tiffany spitting facts.
при помощи сабов или битцов, если очень захочется.
The real truth here being
Я
this boss fight is very like out of place for Mario game in my opinion. Spyro
Вика
is
молодец,
coming to
потому
say
что
hello.
было все с
They
большой
kinda
буквы,
have to do
но
this damage
это
boost strategy
убивало
on their
лоялт.
and pull out all the swords from their head,
Чтобы не
ground
убивать
pound
лоялт,
2 or 3 times in classic Mario
я
fashion
сделал
to fight
Меку
something
молодца
to
с
lose.
маленьким
So,
опытом. Но
if you have,
это его
like,
не
a
делает
million donations,
меньшим
now would be the
молодцом,
perfect time to do it.
Well, it's funny you
чем
mentioned that because
Мека
I have a bit of
молодец.
a nest egg here. I have $40,000 from the Yeti.
Oh boy,
That
okay.
reads, "Hey all, Yeti here. We're so excited to be back with you all at the best part of summer, SGDQ. We're stoked to announce we've already raised $40,000 for Doctors Without Borders. It's with your orders from our official GDQ collection that we're able to support MSF and their incredible work across the world. Thank you all. Good luck to all the runners we'll be cheering on in the chat." Thank you, Yeti. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, those are all proceeds built up over the course of the entire event. So thanks to the Yeti for putting on that, and thanks to you guys for continuing to support Doctors Without Borders. That's huge. That's big news. And a big donation like that just perfectly fit into the rest of this Ruined Kingdom, which is fantastic. We need 3. The other cool thing about this kingdom that I always kind of think about, we need 3 moons to leave, and we get 3 for doing this. But there are a couple of moons like scattered about this kingdom that are like just out of reach, and I'm wondering if maybe one day that's the key. Instead of doing the boss fight, we get those moons instead, but we'll see.
That'd be pretty cool.
And now I think we need to do a little bit of story dump. So if you've played a Mario game within the last probably 15 to 20 years, you'll know that when you get to the final kingdom, or the final area, you know, you're going off to showcase against Bowser, you're ready to save the princess, you're ready to defeat the bad guy and move on in the world and save the day. Usually Bowser will kind of do like a psych, and you'll have to go somewhere else. And that's the real final world. Well, the same is true here. The game leads you to believe that Bowser's Kingdom is the last place that you're going to do the showdown. You're going to save the day. Everything's going to be fine when you do Bowser's Kingdom. And for that reason, the hollowed out circles are missing from the top left corner of the screen. So we don't actually know how many moons we need out of the gate. Unless, of course, you're a speedrunner who has played this game probably more than they ever should. We know that the total we need is 8. But because this is such a story-heavy kingdom, we're going to have 6 story moons, which means that we only need 2. But because this is, you know, the quote-unquote, well, that was kind of dangerous, this is the quote-unquote final area of the game for the story. Takatu's not going to show up until we've kind of got that grand reveal, which doesn't happen until we beat the boss. So we got to hold off on collecting those 2 extra moons until the very, very end. So
I'm
until
hoping
then, we
for
just gotta do
Captain
story
Toad.
moons. I would love Captain Toad to finish us off. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. A friend.
That'd be 4 moons in this run, I think. That's a lot.
Оло.
Until then, we just kind of have to
Оло.
do some island hopping.
Есть не
Story
спящие.
moons kind of lead us to the next islands that we need to go to. This is the another Moonshard moon, but it's a story-related one, and probably some of the snazziest movement in the game. Kind of hoping that I'm able to pull it off for you.
Hey.
Seen this before. My movement
Да не, я
is
вижу все.
outdated to say the least.
That's
Hey,
what we
me
call
too,
fast
Timpani.
shards. Doing that like really precise wall jump to get up, back on the roof after collecting that 3rd shard. Saves just a couple of seconds. There's another strategy I could have added on. It's really, really tough.
Да
on
я
timing,
не
though,
отвлекаюсь.
where you don't even capture a Pokio at all. You let the Pokio
В
kind of
смысле троллит?
shoot the bomb
Я
all by
просто
itself.
спросил, есть ли не спящие.
But
Вот,
again,
отлично, не
that's really
спящие
difficult,
есть.
so I probably wasn't gonna get it.
Now, there is a very important
Попытался
decision
поймать
coming
меня на
up.
Пеппа-клоун.
You now have to choose between 2 podiums to stand on because you have to fight 2 bosses, and the one you pick
тебе не
defines
удалось.
you as a person.
It's true.
And Dangers is making the wrong choice, just to be clear.
Harriet gang, let's go.
No.
Dang.
В этом мире у нас будет много мини-босс-файтов.
It's actually a really cool strat in this fight.
И мы
Yeah,
собираем
one that
6
was
звезд.
recently discovered,
А
actually.
потом нам
You're
нужно
gonna
будет 2 раза
notice there's a
поговорить с
bomb kinda
Толкату.
going berserk here.
Будем
That's
надеяться, что он
intentional,
выдаст
don't
нам
worry.
отличные звезды.
It just lets us set up for a very fast hit right away on the
Это
second phase. That's what we call Zarbomba is the name of that trick, which, of course, I mean, we name things very creative stuff in the Odyssey
Этот мир
community.
говорит
And
нам
then
о
for
том,
that
как
last hit, I'm actually
будто
just gonna go into first
он
person,
последний,
throw
поскольку
Captain
в этом
at her
мире нам не
specific
показывают,
place,
сколько нам
the
нужно
bomb
лун.
flies right back into her face like
Но-
that. I actually really love this fight now,
Нам потом
especially
покажут.
with that new tech. That's why I choose
Yeah.
Не, он
first
успевает,
Timpani.
по-моему.
Well, I mean, I will admit the new trick that you just showed off.
Я
I
думаю,
haven't
что он
learned it
закончит в
yet, but it is very cool.
1:46.
And it is very hard, I would say.
But-
It
but
takes a
top-
lot of game knowledge.
But Topper is harder, so you should pick him first.
Yeah, look at how many hats he has, Dangers. How
Everybody
many
knows
hats
that-
did Harriet have?
Everybody knows that like amount of hats equals amount of difficulty.
Dangerous надевает
provided.
You look really difficult right now, Dangers.
This checkpoint is very important. We can't miss
It's
that one
check.
because Talkatoo lives up
Какой
here.
же он горячий.
And then we're just gonna do the Robo Brutal fight, and
Нормально, все,
probably
все
one
в порядке.
of the most mind-melting parts of the run for anybody who's never seen a speedrun.
Yeah, this fight has gone through
Кавычка,
so many iterations,
финальный
so
босс,
many
кавычка
years.
закрывается. Кавычка открывается, финальный босс, кавычка
Quite
закрывается.
crazy.
Состоящий из
It's probably one of the
всех мини-боссов
visually- well, I think
предыдущих
it is the
локаций.
visually coolest fight in the game.
Yeah, easily, yeah.
One of the most technically precise as well, and one of the most costly to make mistakes in, but very flashy. When you get everything right, it's very satisfying. So.
And
Yeah.
I will say, I was gonna say, even after so many years running this game, this fight still feels really good to nail.
For sure. Target acquired.
Target acquired. That
Yeah,
was a
Dave-
textbook Robo Brutal fight.
It really was. Glad you got that.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, if Dangers were to have like fallen off at any point in that fight, like at minimum, he probably would have lost 20 seconds. And realistically, it would have been more than that usually.
Yeah, it depends on like what phase you fall off on as well, and like what status the brutal is.
Этот
in,
босс
like,
намного
whether
сложнее,
round or
чем
whatever,
кажется.
so
Если
a little bit
вы хотя
variable,
бы раз
but yeah,
свалитесь
it's usually not a
с
good time. And
с
if you're
босса.
getting into like any percent and
Но,
stuff, like because
поскольку
this fight is
Dangers
so technically precise
хорош,
and it's like
он
right
ни разу
at
не
the
свалился и,
end, you
соответственно, не
combine
потерял
your
ее.
nerves into the picture as well, and it just makes the fight even harder than it already is. So
Итак,
it's definitely a run killer, that's for sure.
последние 3 луны мы
Fortunately, as
собрали,
mentioned earlier,
и осталось
since we
еще
only need
2,
8 moons to leave
которые нам
here and we already
подскажут
have
Талкату.
6, that means that we only need 2. And since Talker 2 gives 3 at a time, we do have the option to get a bad moon, essentially. So like we only
И нам
have to
нужно
pick
всего
2
лишь
of the 3 that he may assign. So it's okay. We have an
2
extra
луны.
chance
Всего лишь
to
2.
not get a good moon, essentially.
Итак,
Yeah,
Талкату.
we have an extra chance to get Captain Toad.
Exactly. From the side
И
above the
магазин.
castle gate, that one's perfect, dude. And shopping.
That's pretty good.
And
Yeah, they're all. I mean, they're all pretty good. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do those two.
They're all
Shopping
good,
and
but
above the.
Что
castle
за
gate,
буллинг в
castle
чате
toad.
на Пипоклоуне?
Salutes in the chat. We love
В
the little
смысле?
lad, but not today, I guess.
Сложная игра вообще-то.
I'm saluting.
You're saluting. I can feel the
Yep.
salute through the screen.
Yo, you could also buy a new outfit if you really wanted to.
I could do that, but I want to finish the game as the chef. I'm
You
feeling.
know,
did-
that's fair.
I did see that you were tempted to buy that life up part since you know a dangerous fight is coming up.
Yeah, it's true. Game is pretty hard.
And then from the side above the castle gate is this moon right here, which is really handy. Very good combo.
That's actually an any percent moon as well. We get that one in the regular run since it's very quick.
Very quick. I'm also pleased to announce that was a.
Итак,
Bowser
это
split,
Gold
top
Split.
splits, so that's pretty cool.
Hey,
Doesn't happen every day.
love to see
Это,
it.
конечно, не VR-Pace, но Gold Split тоже даже.
So, unfortunately, that is the end of Talkatoo. Because we're going to Moon, we have 124 moons. We've arrived at the final kingdom. The only thing that exists now, the only thing that's left, is the final.
На этом
the final showdown.
мы заканчиваем игру.
So, Talkatoo, I don't even.
Пойдем
think it
побеждать,
exists in the
Баузера.
game until you've beaten the game anyways.
Yeah, that's correct.
But
Да, Алисио не
he
стримил.
has helped us as much as he needs
Я даже
to,
посмотрел немного.
and it's just us in our own wits from this point forward.
In a way, it is very fortunate that we don't have to use Talker 2 here because he's in a very inconvenient place.
Yep.
Yeah,
might
that
be able
is
to-
true, isn't it?
I might be able to turn my camera to kind of look in the direction of where he usually lives. Up behind the Odyssey, actually, like right there.
At the
On that
top of that
cliff.
very tall cliff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very convenient to get to at all.
No, especially when you consider like half the moons are like in the moon cave or, you know, somewhere
Больше всего
off into the distance, like by the
Заметно,
cathedral or
как
something.
обузится векторное движение.
Speaking of Moon Cave, the Moon Cave is probably the most epic.
Мы
place
специально
in the whole game.
поворачиваем
The music is banging.
Марио так, чтобы он
It's lava
дольше и
everywhere.
дальше
It's very
и быстрее
treacherous.
пролетал.
It's very scary. I'm going to need as much focus as possible as I traverse the Moon Cave, which is right there,
Оп,
by the way. That
прыжок и
entrance right there.
поворачиваем.
Can't wait to see it.
I know, it's very exciting. In fact, the soundtrack is...
Сейчас
Sorry, hold on,
нужно
I just need
сделать
to take care of something over here.
прыжок.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Еще разочек.
I'm worried, Dangers.
Hold on. I just
Хорошо.
Need to
И?
set it up. Hold on.
И отлично.
Oh, did I say I was going to go in the Moon Cave? Yeah, sorry about that. The Moon Cave's over there. And we're just
Oh.
going to go right by. The cathedral's right here.
I was worried for a second that you might have put yourself in danger, so thank you for alleviating that fear.
Врываемся.
Well, it is in the name, you know. Not only bird puns
В
today for
свадебный зал.
Tiffany, but also danger puns, which is good. And we just kind of walk right into the cathedral. That Moon Cave skip, by the way, was found basically day one of speedrunning this game. Like, we kind of just knew that the moon physics were going to be good enough for us to potentially jump up the back of the cliff and just avoid the whole cave entirely. And we haven't ever had to really go in there since. Even categories like all moons, where there are moons in there, but the idea is to just go in and just leave right away. Also,
Yep.
Bowser's Fire looks really menacing, but on the next phase, I'm going to show you that that I'm invincible, actually. So, Fur did say this was a really hard fight, but I don't know.
Well,
I think
I was saying Moon Cave was really hard.
Oh, true. Yeah, sorry about ruining your hopes and dreams.
It's okay. It's only happened twice already.
I mean,
First
only,
Metro and now this.
only twice in 2 hours is a pretty good average.
Поджарился.
Oh, okay. Well, it got me that time. It knows I'm being cheeky. So
Yeah, it's the hitbox is very small, despite how big it looks.
It looks very menacing, but it's literally just a ground scan, so as long as you're not touching the ground when it passes you, you're totally fine. Just a couple more swipes of the tail.
Мы победили Баузера.
And we saved the day, right? Nope,
И
just
еще один
kidding.
джабайт.
Debate number 2.
Теперь нам нужно
As soon as I saw that the game wasn't over, I kind of knew this was coming.
еще побегать
Like when I first
за
played
Баузера.
through this game in my casual playthrough, I was like, we get to capture Bowser, don't we? I'm so excited. This escape sequence was like probably the perfect pinnacle of this game, in my opinion. They did a really good job with this. And I might.
Итак, будем ли мы делать скип? Ну, вообще должны. Он попробовать должен хотя бы раз.
Upcoming here is probably the hardest trick in the game.
Сейчас посмотрим, получится у него или нет.
I don't say that like.
Очень жесткий скип.
Сейвит
Сейвит там, по-моему, пару сек, но он нереально сложный. Оп, 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 оп. Жесть, он может. О, так близок был. Еще раз попробует, но нет, не будем уже. Блин, он был близок. Красиво было. Я думал, там не так все далеко. Почти 10 секунд спасает при первой попытке. Жестко.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a pretty good reason why speedrunners don't go for it in their like world record attempts is because like it is the hardest trick in the game. It might save 7 seconds, but only if you get it perfectly on the first try, and it's at the very end of the run. So if you mess it up, especially if you die,
умереть здесь достаточно ужасно. Это если ты на VR-пейсе, желательно не идти на этот скип. Но если у тебя как раз 5 секунд до VR-пейса, то самое время попробовать. Мы почти закончили спидран. Фаерболы, пожалуйста, прям. Только мы коснемся. И как только выстрелим. Время. Что там говорил, 1.46?
Good job.
There it is. The bird speedrun. Oh boy, I have been ever since I started speedrunning Super Mario Odyssey, I always kind of had it in my mind like, you know, they kind of do some quirky fun stuff at GDQ. I would love to show off the Taka 2 speedrun because, you know, Mario games are a very technically precise speedrun. The idea is that you're finding the most optimal line through the game, and there's very little RNG. So the idea of like randomizers is a pretty, it's a pretty common concept, I think. Like a lot of games have randomizers. Zelda games are very, very common for randomizers and stuff. In fact, I think they've shown Link to the Past randomizers on GDQ before. So the idea of the game kind of having a built-in randomizer that we can play around with and like really tests your game knowledge is a really, really fun challenge for speedruns, and I'm absolutely overjoyed to be able to show it off. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Game's done quick, and all the support that you guys have shown, thank you guys for that as well. Going to Doctors Without Borders, you know, we can't thank you enough. Your donations are what make the dream work. For Timpani, thank you so much for being on my couch. I only hope the next time it's a real couch.
Yeah. It was fun. Well fun.
It was.
Lots of fun. Make sure that you go follow these guys. They speedrun Super Mario Odyssey, and that's all they do. Smile.
Yeah. As it turns out, I do actually speedrun this game. I know Metro's usually rainy in that, you know.
Wait, so you're telling me that was a lie?
You haven't been going into the moon cave this whole time?
I wouldn't say that now.
Oh man. And then I guess for me, if you want to follow me as well, twitch.tv/dangers. I'm also streaming a bunch of Mario games, actually doing a little bit of Galaxy as well. So if you like watching Mario go fast, that's kind of my thing. So again, thank you to GDQ so much for putting on the run again. It's always a pleasure. hope that you guys have a good rest of your marathon. Take care, folks.